Hi everyone. Okay, welcome back to part 3 of the directed writing paper 1 0500 videos. So this would be the last portion, and then we would have completed an entire directed writing question. Okay, so just a quick recap. In the first video, we went through, of course, the question, and also this is just a quick reminder. These are the prompts. A1 to describe the difficulties of the journey, A2 living and working conditions, A3 explore what the future may hold and whether your partner should join you or not. Okay, so this is the 2015 February March paper. Okay, so in video 2, of course, we went through the passage together to pick up the points. So that's this one over here. I've annotated whether they are A1 and A2 points. So we have like 7 A1s and 10 A2s and only just one A3 here. So there's some additional things that we need to add into it. Okay. All right. So just very quickly, it's a remote canyon. So a secluded area A2, and then it's pretty dangerous A1. The searing heat, so the weather that you have to deal with A2. Thousands of prospectors coming in, so that's like competition. So A2, the climb is steep. A1, no signs of other people, it being secluded again, right? The width of the track is like really narrow, so you have to be very careful. A1, small piece of land, so people are very territorial. Okay, A2, road that has been hewn by hand of solid rock, the path in, so I put that under A1. And also that there are thousands of people desperate to access the canyon. A2, okay. Some of the points, as you can see, are a little bit overlapping, so you can actually put them together. Okay, so, and then moving on, there's the rocky outcrop, the 200 meters below if you fall. So A1, a section of the track was partially washed away during the winter rains, A1. So I've been thinking about how to include this in the letter. Okay, so you will see later. And then there's this is an example of how risky it could be. So the broken back carcass of a vehicle, so falling over. So you need to try and find a way to include this into the letter. The site of the settlement where you have makeshift homes, A2s, winter floods, the courthouse fights, how the supplies are actually brought in. So these are the A2s, and how, of course, being out in the sun and all. So some difficulties. It's an arduous and repetitive task. So that will be your working condition. Of course, people having gold fever. So maybe you might want to mention that a little bit in your letter towards the end. And yeah, how it can be physically quite exhausting, energy sapping, and you have been overcome by heat E2. Okay, so these are the points that we need to include into the letter. So I've written it to save time, but we'll go through it together. Okay, so here is the letter. We have been instructed to begin with, "My dear, it is some time since I have been able to write, so I've decided to do this." Okay, so let me just highlight this or change the color. Okay, all right. All right, and then so this is what you have to begin with. So we have done that. So, "My dear, it has been some time since I've been able to write to you as the," so I decided to add the wagon bit here to start. Let's use it as a reason, right? "So to you as the wagon that brings in supplies, and the mill was not able to come into the canyon. A portion of the track was washed away by the winter rains, and it took a good 4 weeks to carve into the solid rock surface of the mountain to create a new path. So I've decided to do that here." Okay, this is including the information. Okay, "Everyone at the settlement took turns, and I had my fair share of hanging off the cliff. Looking down at the river below was honestly quite unnerving. But fear not, my dear, we are all well." So like I said, it has to be quite realistic. You don't want to share information with your partner. I've decided to be the husband here, so I'm writing to my wife. You don't want to scare your wife too badly as well. So how do you balance this, right? I mean, like realistically, okay? So you've talked about the river below, okay, and then hanging off the cliff. Okay, And then moving on, I have been here at Cherry Canyon. So I've given the place a name, Cherry Canyon. I've been here at Cherry Canyon for the past 11 months. So I'm giving a bit of backstory, okay? And I've made some friends. Every month until the track collapsed, the track before that I've mentioned here, every month before until the track collapsed, there would be more and more men and women making their way in here. So this is me bringing up the number of people who are going in. Remember, that's one of the points, yeah? I remember my first day like it was yesterday. I need to say this wise because I want to bring up A1, which is to describe the journey into the canyon, remember? So yeah, so I remember my first day like it was yesterday. The path is long, steep, narrow, and snakes around the mountain. One does have to be quite cautious when trekking in, as we cannot afford to slip into the abyss 200 meters below. So I am bringing up, about how high it is. Okay, another point. The only difference is that the watery abyss below would sweep you away in a second. The weather is bearable. Trekking in during spring was quite a little hot for my liking. Okay, maybe I can change this. Was a little, I don't need the quite. Was a little hot for my liking, but I'm here. I am not here to be comfortable. So bringing up the weather, which I'm supposed to, right? Okay. Our dream of building our home drives me and makes me not too concerned about the small matters. I would say like not sweat the small stuff and things like that, but this is 150 years ago. So the language that you would use would be a little bit more like this, right? Okay. So anyways, over the months, I have gotten used to the routine of working when there is daylight and resting when it gets dark. So I'm bringing up my working condition, about the hours I need to work. The makeshift tent is holding up well, and I keep cool by sleeping outside during summer, layering up during winter, right? Okay, then I talk about meals, like how ladies here would cook, so meals are pretty decent. Okay, that's another point, living condition. At least better than any meal I could put together. It does make me miss your cooking badly though. Okay, so the first couple of weeks took some getting used to, as petting is quite laborious and exhausting. So I'm sharing with her a little bit that it is tiring work. However, now I am more than accustomed to the work. I have had some luck with my penning, some dustings and little nuggets last month. And further up the river, there is word of someone striking it. He was a little too excited and too loudly exclaimed his fine. So some of us may relocate next week, though we will with caution, as folks can get extremely territorial here. So these are my points. I'm telling her about my work a little bit, and also about progress. Okay, that's actually kind of A2. And then also here, I want to give a backstory because this helps me to build my A3. I'm planning to tell her that I'm staying for a little bit longer. That's why this little backstory here. But I also tell her, of course, this is my opportunity to bring up about people being territorial. That's one of the points in the passage. And the disputes of courts, yeah? Okay, so please wait for me as we move up the river. I think it will take another couple of months. So this is E3. I'm preempting like my wife, my partner, that I'm going to be here a little bit longer than planned, right? So this is A3. Okay, a couple more months, right? Then, but it's worth it. I will be able to come back with more for us to start and cover the horse and items we had to sell for my trip up here. You stay on the farm. So I'm telling her, stay on the farm and take care of business there. And I assure you, when I get back, our dream of building a barnyard and expanding our farm will become a reality. So I'm answering the question, A3. Remember, you're supposed to invite your partner to come or tell them to stay. So in this case, I'm choosing for my ending to be like this. Okay, yours always Robert, so my character's name is Robert. All right, so with this, you want to write something that is quite realistic. Like I said, it does have to be quite realistic. Okay, the tone, because you're writing in a form that has been tasked to you. Specific information has been given. You're told that you are a prospector 150 years ago and things like that. So it's important that you adhere to this information that had been given to you. And also it's important, you see, crucial, you see all the blues are all the points that I have that we have actually gone through in video 2, which is picking out the points from the passage. So I've included them in here. So this fulfills the 15 marks for content, right? Then the 10 marks, of course, would come from the quality of your writing. Okay, so I'll include this file in the description box below so that you have access to this. And so yeah, but this basically is the third video and the last one for our directed writing question. And I hope this helps you in your preparation for one of my favorite questions in the 0500. All right, thank you, everybody.